Hello, and welcome back to this decision that I'm making. So, if you recall, the last time I tried this, it went very, 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 very badly. As Bukhara, I managed to last longer than the AI would by maybe like 2 or 3 months, generously. Not a terribly impressive showing. Now, the reasons for that were a few. One, just sort of was not playing super well. The second was I did not come in with a super robust plan. I didn't really have a great sense of timing as to when problems would start to appear. And finally, this is just sort of very difficult, and I don't really have a lot of wiggle room. So I did two things. The first of which is I reduced the difficulty, and the second of which is I have now a better idea of what my actual game plan is going to be. So I'm playing on the lowest possible difficulty because, well, I'm going to be fighting Russia as Bukhara with no support. So we're going to see how that goes. All right, so let's get into it. If we recall, last time we went down industrial methods to try to get extra armories. Political reform is not incredibly useful. PP doesn't really matter, but the thing that does matter, really the two things that do matter, army experience and this increased recruitable population. Additionally, this ideological fanaticism. Still, I think that it's better for us to initially go down industrial methods, go down our military factory route, and then probably jump into try to get ideological fanaticism before we swing in on the left. I think that whatever happens, we're going to go with industrial methods. I say I come in with a plan. I don't have that much of a plan. I just have a better idea of like what my limitations are going to be this time. Having already done this. All right. So one of the lessons that we learned is trying to defend Dushanbe is not worth it. It requires that I stretch out the line an additional 2 blocks. Now, that does put me in the mountains, which is very, very nice for defense. But the problem is if Bukhara falls or Samarkand falls, that's basically game over. So what my defense should probably look like is something like this. This, unfortunately, does not allow me to defend anywhere that is mountains. Well, actually, yeah, nowhere that is mountains. But the upside of this is I can afford to lose Dushanbe, and I can't afford to lose Samarkand or Bukhara. I can basically not produce anything in Pamir and produce things in Samarkand and Bukhara provinces. Just sort of, this is my country. And critically, this little diamond ensures that my army can't really be fully flanked. Like, it can't be surrounded and attacked from all sides. This also reduces the amount of forts I need to build. Because, well, I need to build forts. This is where we make our stand. This is our little triangle. That's our little diamond of friendship. The option does exist to try to extend it. I don't think it's worth it. We have a pretty good layout. Like, the best place for the enemy to attack is from this direction. If I wanted to, I could try extending this down further this way so that I'm bumping up against Afghanistan. But at that point, I might as well just sort of extend the whole line, like, to cover this area, because that ensures that every place that is being attacked from a river direction. In case you're wondering, the line would look kind of like... That line would look kind of like this. And this is sort of our optimistic deployment, right? Because then there's one tile they can attack from that isn't a river tile, and that is attacking from mountains into mountains. Not great. But the problem with that is this is an insanely optimistic deployment. It means that I'm going to have to fortify a lot more tiles, and it means I'm going to have a lot more divisions. And I just don't think that's realistic. Now, that's our kind of our stretch goal. But right now, this is what we got. Look how... Listen, even though I'm on, Giga cheating mode difficulty, we're still fighting this with this, and we still have one technology slot. Look at us. All right. So, we're going to have to go to war pretty early for, traditional Hearts of Iron. I still think it's better to go electromechanical engineering. It's a pretty fast technology, and 3% research speed. Yeah, I'm really not sure about that. The question is... Yeah, so the thing we are going to want to rush, and having extra political power is going to make this pretty trivial, is the thing we're going to want to rush is this generic arms company, so that when we do research Weapons 1, our Weapons 1 is in that version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to research. I'm going to see if we can get there. I'm going to see our best, see if we can do our best. Oh, there's so much that I want to spend. Alright. I'm... The more I think about it, the more I think it's genuinely not worth it to go electronic mechanical engineering. Sure, I get 7% extra research speed, but, all of these techs are super useful, and they're super useful to get early. I think I'm going to go basic machine tools first. Because I'm not sure whether I can get weapons 1 before I get enough political power to... Well, I'm going to get enough in, How many days does this take? Because I need 150. Yeah, I'm getting enough per day that I should be able to get the upgrade I need, and that will get us producing better infantry equipment immediately, and that should have a pretty significant impact on our productivity. We can choose a trade, but we can't actually. It's going to be defensive doctrine. I really do think that entrenchment bonus is worth it. All right. And now it's time for the boring part of the game. Yep. That's a new decision. Huh. That is a new decision. Interesting. So the sort of end game goal of all of this is to unite Central Asia. And become the Central Asian Confederation. And then that will probably be the end of the game. We'll see. Alright. Okay, so this is going to be our Triangle of Glory. I am going to attempt to exercise. I don't think it really matters. I think it's better to make an attempt. I think this is very inefficient. Ah, yes. And... lowest priority for upgrades. Yeah, let's see. It's just better to build infantry. Basically, always for the purposes of... For our strategy right now, which is going to be entirely defensive. How barbaric! It's better to build infantry. And Kornilov's in charge. Okay. It doesn't matter at all to us. It doesn't matter how friendly and democratic or grumpy and extremist our various leaders of Russia are. They all want their land back. It doesn't matter. Which is pretty realistic, to be honest. The people must reject this madness. Get it out of here. 88. Sliding on into control. I'm going to close that. Actually, priority. Whatever happens down there, it doesn't matter. It's literally not relevant at all to us. Rip-a-dippy. See, this puppet system, I think that this makes sense. Maybe potentially applying it to the way that the United States works could maybe be a thing they could do for the American Civil War. Treat these various, like, states and organized state groupings as puppets. That's super interesting. They keep the coloration. Oh, no, they don't. Right, and they technically are still associated governance. Not for long. Not for long. I mean, maybe. We'll see. Alright, how close are we to... Yeah, we should be able to get to where we need. Alright, well, that's inconvenient. If somewhat irrelevant. Okay, we got industrial methods. Now we have to make a choice. I think it's better to go for state armories. I think that I was right before. Civilian factories are nice, but guns are how anything happens in this situation. Aha! And now we can grab better infantry equipment, so that when we complete this infantry equipment... Also, it helps us research faster, which is an upshot. Whoa, that's crazy. Afghanistan lost this war. I can't believe it. How could that happen? That's crazy. Yep. Nanjing lost. That's not an always thing, but it does seem to be a most of the time thing. I haven't played on this patch, so it might be different this time. Alright. And to the victor goes the spoils, and the spoils in this case is murdering each other. Alright. Iran is irate. That's so slow. Look how slow that is. Yeah, that's going to be in Samarkand. We're going to get a military factory. How pog is that? That's so PogChamp. That's like crazy how PogChamp it is. Alright. Infantry equipment. Change it out. Okay, now that that's done, this can wait, because we're not at war yet, and it doesn't matter until we're at war. Oh, faster construction speed is barely worth it at all. So even though that is a more efficient use of our boost, I think it's straight up better to get basic machine tools faster. Just so that our military factories can put out guns faster. Because we desperately need guns. Oh! I'm gonna deploy that early, just to have some more boys on the block. I think that's probably not smart, but I want to make sure that I've got at least all the divisions I need. All right, state armories are done. Military manufacturers next. See, that's not going to increase the amount that I have, at least not yet. Ah, insufficient resource, or will it? I just had to update. Yeah, just had to update. See, we're going to get this all the time. This is one of the reasons I wanted to play on Giga Easy mode. I just straight up don't have a solution to that in this case. So kind of a goofy playthrough already. I don't think they changed this, did they? No. No, they did not change this. Not one bit. They may use different icons or something, but like they didn't change the mechanics at all. Okay, so we have 150 again. So the best thing we can probably do. Yeah, this is a big problem that there's nothing here. The best thing we can probably do is go for silent workhorse immediately. Just increase the amount of political power we get. Like that is maybe quote unquote more efficient to do earlier, but I wanted to get that generic arms out there just to have it. I think we can afford to give our buddy defensive doctrine and last time we went with recovery rate. I think I'm gonna go with recovery rate again. Why go with recovery rate again? Well, for the same reason we did it last time. We're not likely to deal with with a need to reinforce very quickly, but we are likely to have individual units sort of bumped out of position and be forced back into situations where they need to recover fast enough to fight again. That's the logic behind it. Okay, so concentrated industry just gives us a plus 15% to our factory output. I don't really see why not. Yeah. I think that is going to be what we're going for. Just more production, more good. It is probably a good idea to police crackdown at some point, solidify control at some point. But right now, I think it's better to improve our economy. Alright. Military industry will be our last of our initial foray into productivity. Then we'll go down political reform. And then finally down to research councils, which will double our research. Modern warfare. Like, these are all very, very nice and very, very useful, but we got to make choices sometimes. Boink. Alright, we got it. We do not need more manpower at this point, but a better economy would be better for everyone. Ripperoni. So, it's the left KMT that's victorious. We'll see whether that lasts in that early sort of skirmishing period. Ah. So we're up to 12 maximum supported divisions. And now manpower is becoming an issue. Just looking at stuff. I do already feel as though we're in a better shape than we were last time. Alright. On to political reform. That extra power, the extra PP will be very good in, yeah. So I think I'm going to police crackdown right now so that it goes off cooldown earlier. Extra stability is very, very strong. And those will reduce our, yeah, see, this will reduce our output to, it will reduce our output right now to nothing, which is unfortunate, but that shouldn't be the end of the world. Shouldn't be the end of the world, we're hoping. Alright, everything is on the field. I'm hoping to get a little bit of army experience from this, though I'm not getting very much. Yeah, the problem is, like, basically everything here is useful, except for this. Obviously, I can't do that. Will we ever be able to reach the sea? Man, if we manage to meme it up really hard, we may be able to, like, nab Sistan or, like, Baluchistan or something. I mean, I don't think it's super likely, but hey. Dream big! Alright, East Turkestan. We should get an event regarding this, where we can support our East Turkestan friendos, which, ironically, I believe will likely ally with the Russians. We'd already talked about this in the last time we did this, but they can ally with the Russians, but the Xinjiang clique cannot, nor can the Kumul Khanate. Neither of them can. Like, those are both, like, China-only factions, or I guess Greater China. If you're talking about China and friends. Nice. We love ourselves a good holy day. Now let's go up to limited conscription, just to fill that a little bit better. Alright, now we suddenly can go. Oop. Partial mobilization. Alright. And then we can select a national focus. Not this one. More stability. Yay! I love stability, yay! Alright, so that would be war in... Yep. Alright, so the Balkan War has begun. It is December, so we're actually going to wait until later so we have a little bit more options. Regarding that, the ANI is now ANIing. And there's our autosave. Very good. Okay, so now we can afford to go down to Concentrated Industry 2, which I actually think I would rather do. Ah, see, now we're back up to being able to make forts again. Exactly as planned. but actually, like, that's the reason that I'm focusing that. All right, our numbers are growing, and they'll grow still once we get... Yeah, so this militarism with the 40 army experience, yeah, that's all going into this. I'm going to double the size of our divisions, and then I'm actually going to, after I do this, ooh, I think I want to go support equipment engineering company. Engineering company is really what we want. All right. Industrial concern. Faster industrial research is good, but faster fort construction is also good. So we're gonna go with faster research speed to give ourselves more time, because like I want to get through that quickly. And because of the cheaty difficulty that we're on, I should be able to get... Like, PP is not going to be the limiting factor here. It's just the fact that we're in, like, a puny country. Though now we are able to say properly we have... yeah. I'm debating... I'm like, should I? No, I shouldn't. Now we're able to have 3 divisions in each one of our hexes, which is nice. See, last time I sent out forces to, or I'd considered, I don't remember whether I actually did, but I considered sending out forces to sort of hold the line. That's not really worth it. I think I did do that. Can't remember whether that was in a test game or in the real game. I think it was in the real one. I don't think I did enough testing. I just sort of YOLO'd it. All right. With the rise of the oh boy, Vazd would be how I would assume that's pronounced. With the rise of the Vazd, I'm gonna call it quits here. We'll see you folks next episode, where we're going to probably deal with the declaration of war. It's already the middle of 37. The war is declared in 38, if I remember correctly. But that's when things are going to start. I feel like we're better prepared than we were last time, but still, we're going to be cutting it closer. We're going to be cutting it closer than I'd initially planned. All right, see you then.